I am safe. I am enhanced. I am supported. All is well.
Hello and happy day. I am Erica Kesse, a love force with mysterious wisdom, celebrating life. And I am so pleased to be here for another episode of Try on Thriving. So, during this episode, we're going to review a Thrive plan. If you've been listening in, a Thrive plan is a self awareness assessment and operating system so that you can recognize in conflict what are your trauma responses, how to avoid them and go into your coping, and then also how you make sure that you're supported by others, okay? So that if you have people who are in your social support system. So we are going to be reviewing another Thrive plan from a CEO. And I'm going through here and noting that they they marked that their trauma responses was fight, flight, and freeze. All right. And so with with this being marked here, you recognize that this person does have some awareness about trauma responses because most people think of these three: fight, flight, freeze. But there's also flop and fawn. And so I want to make sure that we talk through flop and fawn. Flop is when you literally fall out because a conflict happened, or you just have to go to sleep, or you fall into a sadness or a depressed mood, so you're unable to respond. Okay, fawn is when you're apologizing even though it may not be your fault, or it could be somebody else that was a part of it. You want to people please and you attempt to be a peacemaker. So this particular person said fight, flight, and freeze was their trauma response. Okay. And then let's go on down here to see about the triggers. So physically, they are saying that they're busy doing things. And I'm happy that this particular one came up because most people who mark that they fight are also very much their response is to get busy doing a lot of things to counteract. And then that goes into, let's talk about emotions. Let's go down to emotions. And the emotions that they have is they feel tired, they feel fear, they have mood swings, they have a fear of failure and a fear of success. So these are the emotions that's coming up. So they get busy to counteract those feelings, right? But then what's happening mentally? Mentally, there's racing thoughts, there's indecisiveness, there's negative self-talk, there's forgetfulness, they're self-critical, they're over-analyzing. So this person really does kind of is cerebral and stays in their mind a lot. When people mark a lot of things under mental, that means that they kind of numb out their body. And if you hadn't you noticed that the only thing they marked for physical was busy doing things, because they've learned to numb out their bodies and get into their minds, because they know that people don't really know what's going on there. So then they have this mental fight that's going on inside of them, right? And that's what's marked here, right? So you learn a lot about uh a person from these Thrive plans, but it's also important for you to learn a lot about yourself. That's the whole goal for the Thrive plan, for you to learn about yourself, right? And then learn how you can counteract that mode of interacting in the world. Now, if a person marks all these things, they must be a person that has keen thinking skills. Like they really are all about thinking. But a way to cope is to get out of your mind and into your body. So if I was interacting with them, I would say specifically because of all these things marked under mental, if they find themselves having racing thoughts, negative self-talk, forgetfulness, they need to do something physical, like run or like walk or paint or something physical in order to get out of their mind and into their bodies. They need to wiggle their toes, they need to rub their fingers together, they need to get out of their mind. And then let's talk about lastly, spiritually, what's going on. They feel ungrounded, distracted, and isolated. All right. So then let's go into what they marked as coping skills. So their coping skills, they have a lot on here actually, and that's wonderful. So they say gratitude, meditation, positive affirmations, talking to a safe friend, self reflection, being intentional, saying no, setting boundaries, creative activities, scheduling items that spark joy, journaling, writing, poetry, cooking, resting, and listening to music. I don't know if you all remember in a previous episode, I talked about how a lot of people marked music as their way to cope. But let's get into this. They marked a lot of things when they're coping. But if you did not notice that a lot of these things are not physical things, right? So they're doing a lot of coping, but you have to do the coping, especially when you have this of of type of sensations that occur for you, right? If you have mental sensations, the best way to cope is to get into your body. And it seems like they're talking about gratitude. That's a physical thing. I mean, so that's a mental process, right? They're doing meditation, they're doing positive affirmations, they're saying no. Okay, great, these are great ones. But I would say that this person, in order to truly combat against hit the sensations, doing things in a physical way would really be beneficial. So that's what I would say. For if you're a person out there who's all in your mind, you're overthinking, you're overanalyzing, you're critical, do something. Do something with your body. Get out of your mind and into your body as much as you can. Really check in with your body. Maybe the meditation that they're doing was one where they're actually just doing body scan of their body to recognize what's going on. Because the thing is, with a numbed out body, it's easier to get really busy and neglect yourself. Okay. And then lastly, I will say that he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things marked. Five, not things marked. He has 5 people marked on his social support system, which is absolutely amazing. And so his responsibility with all of those people is to make sure they understand their role, which would be to hold him accountable to his coping skills, right? And doing them with him, and advocating for healthy life bringing behaviors. But I must say that it is important that he does do his coping skills with these individuals and he has them as a sounding board, right? And it is, but I will say for anyone who has a lot of mental things going on inside of them, you need to be doing some things in a physical way. Okay. You have to get out of your mind. Your mind is basically, you're doing a lot of thinking and it's causing you to have it. Remember, he mentioned being tired, right? And what was it? Being tired. It's not a physical tired. It is a emotional tired. It is a mentally tired that he's experienced. But then he mentioned a lot of fear, he just overall fear of failure and fear of success. So that is brain work, right? So fear is in your mind and in your body, right? It's in your emotions and in your head. So it's important to get out of that and just allow yourself to be soothed with really engaging with the mind body connection. All right. So that's my bits on that. Thank you all so much for tuning in to another episode of Try on Thriving. If you haven't gotten your Thrive plan today, you can go to bit.ly, bit.ly/try try on thriving, and you can get your own Thrive plan, because I really feel like everyone should have a plan and a process of thriving. Then you can come here with your Thrive plan and we can talk through what it's like for you, what you've marked on there. Like this person marked all these things for mental. So if that's what happens with you, then a coping skills should be in reaction to this particular sensations. Then you go into doing something physical. If they had marked emotional things or spiritual things, then we would find other ways to engage. I'm really excited that this person had a lot of people, but for you, if it's time for you to be intentional about who is on your social support system. And so if I had done this Thrive plan with him again, then I bet you, because of the time that we've spent the spit and looking at this and processing this, he would probably have a more attuned list, maybe even a smaller list, that actually are supporting him in all the ways that he's needing. All right. You all, thank y'all so much. Please make sure you subscribe and follow Try on Thriving. We would love to have you come back and check in with us. So what we do is we're going to in our next episode, we're going to have a person come in, a CEO, that's going to spend some time with us and share about their thriving. And then we'll go back into us talking through the Thrive plan and ones that I have done. I've done over 500 Thrive plans, and I'm just sharing them with you and hoping that you will get your own so that you can thrive. So you all create a thriving rest of your day. Bye.
I am safe. I am enhanced. I am supported. All is well.